Before Big Bend was a national park, there were periods in its history where mining was explored. So in this video, we visit a ghost town and an old vacation getaway tucked away in the far corner of the park. After we came back from Mexico, we drove over to the hot springs. We didn't go into the hot springs due to the crowds, but this area does have more to offer than the hot springs.
Turn it off at the hot springs historical area. So the parking is full at the trailhead, so now we had to park at the overflow parking. We have to walk our way all the way down. Yeah, probably about a mile walk, dodging vehicles, getting the dust from the vehicles, but it's gonna be worth it, right?
Right, it's a historical tour.
So this is the road that we just drove up and back on, and it is a pretty tight fit, but there's enough room. It's still pretty sketchy. You got this drop off right here. And you have the walls
You get
right next to you. Yeah.
The remains of the old Langford resort sits along the trail overlooking the Rio Grande. There are a few buildings that are still standing, and it's a reminder that this area has been calling people for its beauty for quite a long time now.
On the sign it says to picture yourself staying here 100 years ago. And honestly, it doesn't look that much different than the... I think our teepee's better than this. I don't think we will have a problem at all.
What was even cooler to view was the petroglyphs and pictographs that rested in the shadows of a limestone cliff that overlooked the Rio Grande. The longevity of human activity in these parts are truly astonishing.
Right behind me you have the cliff faces with all the pictographs and then beautiful view of the river.
Kind of roots.
Cold?
At least I can throw a rock to Mexico. Yeah. Yep. We found this rocky ground, low spot of the river to come to. The hot springs are over there. There's just way too many people over there for us. It was too crowded. Katie placed her feet in the hot spring. How was your hot springs experience?
I bet my feet are healed with all my blisters.
But over here is this nice little, just only 100 yards down, maybe 200 yards down. Much quieter, nobody around. And yeah, you can enjoy the river over here. What is this?
If I had to guess, I would say this is Mr. Livingston's man cave. It's right up there. That's his primary home. It's his first primary home over here.
Oh, okay,
But
so
I
he
think-
had like a billiards table
I think
here,
this is
his
his
TV.
man's grave. He
Right.
did not receive the appropriate love of a woman's care. And so that is why it's destroyed.
We are now on our way back to our car. We have another mile to go. And sad thing was, there's a lot of open parking spaces now.
After the hot springs, we drove over to the Terlingua Ghost Town. But first, we took a short detour to a desert oasis. It stands out by the large green vegetation surrounding it.
We are at Dugout Wells. It looks like it's an oasis out in the middle of the desert.
We're at Dugout Wells Spring.
This area is an area that
Attracted many people and wildlife and a variety of plants because of the water. They built a little school here and they called it a cultural hub.
see a big tree like this out in the middle of the desert. So yeah, this landscape is completely different to what's all around it. It's bigger trees, much taller vegetation.
In Terlingua, we stopped by a couple shops to take a look around, and there's just something about a tourist trap that I really love. I can't really put my finger on it, but I do love it.
What's behind these doors, Katie?
The cellar. Where they keep the little people that pick on the things.
We might have a crime to report.
I believe so.
Next, we visited the old remains of the ghost town. Now, we only went to a section of the ghost town because it's pretty scattered about. Now, this really isn't a ghost town because there's just a lot of restaurants around here and they took advantage of this. But there are some old sections and it's really cool to see how they built their
Going into the
houses.
Terlingua jail. Oh. Katie's getting locked in. Going in for the night. So we're inside of Terlingua abandoned ghost town. Well, Terlingua Ghost Town. And it's not really much of anything. They do have these ruins that they let you walk around. It's just a series of buildings. There's some other areas too. This is not the only area. Like they have that area over there as well. But yeah, it's just a bunch of old buildings that's made out of rock stacks. Limestone rock stacks. This one over here looks like to be one of the most intact little buildings. Still has a little roof over it. Yeah. The roof looks like it's still here. Most of these walls. Katie is making chili. She's got her ground beef going.
Cooking quickly. Need to lower that a little bit.
Got these great views of the teepee all the way around us. These are yurts. And then they also have like a little camper out here. And then over here is just like a regular tent. But most of these sites are yurts. And then you have that camper over there. And then you have, oh no, you have a camper over here too. And then you have this little tent. And then we're the only teepee on this site. Katie has now placed the onions inside. What you got next?
Then will be a tablespoon of garlic. and then a bunch of different spices. And I didn't bring a measuring spoon, so this is going to be our tablespoon. I'll just fill it way, way above the rim, and it'll be our tablespoon. Like, this was not a good idea. See, look how slow that comes out. And I need a half tablespoon. And there's no way to open it more. Like, I tried to unscrew the top. And it's not coming out. I just don't know. We're gonna have adequate, really, salt, paprika, pepper. So we were relying on this, but it doesn't come out in adequate portions for a chili that requires so much. A little bit more than half.
It's like flapping in the wind, and we were thinking that the teepee was gonna fall over on us.
Only thing I could think of last night was how I don't know who built this teepee. I don't know if he followed the instructions or if he knew what he was doing. And this wind was going to just collapse these wooden poles, and it was gonna hit me in the head, and I was gonna die. This was just gonna be my way to go. Yep.
Death by teepee.
Yep. That's all I could think about last night.
In my opinion, seeing the remains and signs of ancient human activity really heightened the experience for me. And that's the thing with travel. It's more than just taking in everything that's around you and bringing that home with you, but knowing that you are now a part of its history in the smallest of ways is really what makes it for me.